A lot of people say you are the queen of the wood finish. How do you got this kind of idea? Double aging.
You know, I would hate to produce a boring whiskey. For the double, it's a 4-stage aging process. So very complicated, very time intensive, but you know, very much worth it when you taste it. It's your whiskey. Enjoy it as you please.
大家好，我是纸杯大叔林一峰。今天非常兴奋来拜访我心目中的女神 Stephanie MacLeod。她呢在 IWC 就是 International Whisky Competition 连续6年拿到全世界最佳首席调酒师这样的无上的殊荣，到目前为止已经是破纪录了。我们就说她是霸榜女神哦。不止如此啊，今年她手上的其中一位品牌就是 Ardmore 还拿到年度最佳威士忌以及年度最佳酒厂。非常开心，他首次出访台湾，我就能够访问到 Stephanie 哦。我也准备一些小给息啊，因为我觉得我们在品饮威士忌当中，常常能够察觉到属于自己生命经验的气味，特别是茶的气味。哎呀，我自己在试那个 Stephanie 的作品的过程当中，我有试到许多茶的味道，所以我今天准备自己在家里面喝的一些茶来跟我们的 Stephanie 分享。Nice to see you, Stephanie.
Nice to see you too, Stephen.
Today I have some questions to ask you, but before that, tea, just like whiskey, we have the fermentation. This is a white tea, non-fermentation, and this one is a green tea. This kind of green tea is a half fermentation. It's a very powerful.
Yes, very pungent.
Yes. And this is a black tea. If we are drinking the British tea afternoon tea time, most of this kind of flavor, yes. This kind of tea is a fully fermentation. I can feel some sherry cask flavor in this kind of red tea. And this is a very special tea. Tea with smoky flavor, just like a smoky barley.
Yeah, and sort of licorice notes as well.
This is a pu'er tea, making the fermentation after.
Yes, that's really complex.
So today I prepared three kind of tea I want to share to you. So you can see this color, just like a bourbon cask whiskey.
Yes. Beautiful.
Floral flavor is elegant.
Perfumed, clean, very clean.
Sometimes I drink your work Ardmore. I can find this kind of flavor, green and grassy.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Dry plums.
Again, very tannic.
Yes, maybe
really
wine cask.
Yes. Gosh, that's unusual. Sort of smells kind of like a broth, kind of mushroomy.
Yes.
Sort of miso. Soup, a very complex miso. I didn't think you could get this array of different flavors from tea. It's incredible, it really is.
Stephanie, this is my favorite part, drinking whiskey.
It's wonderful to be here with you today in Taipei. And you know, I've been talking about when I've been here in Taipei about the 3 things that are very important to jurors. Our age statements, you know, each one of these whiskies here has an age statement.
Yes.
And we feel that that's important to our whiskey drinkers. It gives a statement of quality. It gives a statement of how long it's been aging in oak casks in Scotland. And it gives a signpost to where they are and where they want to be. Another element very important is double aging. Our blended Scotch whiskies, such as the Double series,
such a brilliant idea. What you got this kind of idea?
Yes.
Double aging.
Yes. Well, we double age all of our premium whiskies, and then for the double series, it's a 4-stage aging process. So very complicated, very time intensive, but you know, very much worth it when you taste it.
I think that's why dealers always win the competition in the world.
Yes, we are committed to flavour and the pursuit of flavour. You know, I would hate to to produce a boring whiskey. I always want our whiskies to be packed full of flavour, packed full of interest, a whiskey that you can have discussions about, whiskies that you can maybe have an argument about. The double range, we have a range of 3.
Yeah.
And some people say, oh, 21's my favourite. No, 32 is my favourite. No, 27's my favourite. And that's what I love, discussion around whiskey.
I remember one time I shared the Dewar's 21 to my friend. My friend, he didn't drink the whiskey in his life. But first time tried the Dewar 21, wow, he accept and love it.
Really?
And the next day he go to the liquor store and buy one.
Oh, really? Oh, well, thank you for
so,
introducing him.
this is not the whiskey lover love this kind of whiskey. Even the beginner will love your whiskey.
Yes.
So I think this double age, this kind of things, like whiskey is so smooth. Everybody love that.
Yes. And that's the thing, we've also introduced a remastered Dewar's 12 in bourbon.
Yes.
So double aged in first fill bourbon casks. And what that's done is, it's been a very simple change, but it's amplified the vanilla and creamy toffee notes and the citrus notes. So the recipe has remained the same, but we've just had this amplification, this oomph of flavour. And we were talking about it. It's quite a dangerous one because it's so smooth.
Yes, very dangerous.
So you have to be careful.
Taiwan is very famous, the single malt whiskey market. In whole the world, most of people they drinking the branded whiskey, but in Taiwan, people crazy about the single malt whiskey.
Yes.
I know you have the so many brands, Royal Breckler, Aberfeldy, and Ardmore, and
Crigellicky.
Yeah, the four brands.
Yes.
So, which one you love most?
Oh, I love them all. I love them all. We have 2 Speysides, our Altmore and our Crigellicky.
Yes.
And they're only a few miles apart from each other, but in terms of flavour, they are poles apart. And it's incredible because they are both Speyside whiskies. They're both made from the same 3 ingredients. The difference that we have is Altmore is made using the shell and tube process and distillation, and Crigellicky is made using worm tubs. And it's these worm tubs that give our Crigellicky whiskey this robust and muscular characteristic. But when it spends time in oak casks, these muscular notes recede, and it allows these amazing pineapple and exotic fruit notes to come to the fore.
Old age Crigellicky is amazing good.
Yes.
Amazing good.
Yes. And then Altmore is our very elegant and regal and friendly Speyside malt. It goes with other whiskies, and more importantly, it goes with beautiful finishing casks. And that's, if we are wanting to try out a new cask, we will often look to Altmore.
In Taiwan, the sherry cask is very popular.
Yes.
But if my friend asks me if he want to find some bourbon cask flavor, well, I will introduce Altmore, maybe beginning from the 12 year, amazing good.
Yes.
And even the age, just like this one, the 28.
Yes.
Beautiful, it's beautiful. A lot of people say you are the cream of the finish. You use the change the cask, give him a lot of personality. Wow.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. But then we have our 2 Highlands here. We have our Aberfeldy. And the distillery itself is about, under 2 hours from Glasgow or Edinburgh. So if you're in Glasgow and Edinburgh, it's a very short journey to get there. And Aberfeldy is really important to John Dewar and Sons because it was the only distillery to have been built by the Dewar's family.
Okay.
And I like to imagine that A.J. Cameron, who was our first master blender, was inspired by the flavour profile of Aberfeldy when he created Dewar's White Label. And Dewar's White Label is our, is a Dewar's house style that over all these generations since the start of the 20th century, we have endeavored to maintain.
If I want to describe the Aberfeldy to my friend, what is Aberfeldy's house style?
It's honeyed. It's rich. Floral, fruity. It's a very approachable whiskey, but it's also incredibly complex. So it's got the best of both worlds. You know, it's interesting for those who enjoy and know the single malt whiskey market, but it's also a safe place for those who it's their first whiskey.
Sometimes I will describe the Aberfeldy. He is a muscle man, but with a nice suit.
Yes.
So still full body, but it's still elegant.
Yes. You know, it's a roughy-tufty Highlander with a heart of gold. And then Royal Bracla.
I love most in these few years.
Yes. So Royal Bracla is a Highland malt, but much further north than Aberfeldy. You know, Royal Bracla is a beautiful distillery. It has a beautiful body of water in front of the still house. You know, you can tell the story of Royal Bracla just by looking at the coat of arms on the front. You know, so it talks about Codder Castle, which is right beside the distillery, and the Macbeth, the Shakespeare tale. And it also tells the story of the ingredients, the barley, and also the sherry casks. And sherry is very important to our flavour story of Royal Bracla, because for me, Royal Bracla is summer in a glass. As a new make spirit, it's bright, it's vibrant. You could almost drink it on its own actually without being matured. It's so palatable and bright. And so sherry finishing brings out those light and shade of the character of Royal Bracla. And so for the 12-year-old, we finish that in Oloroso sherry casks. For our 18-year-old, we put that into Palo Catardo sherry.
Palo Catardo, this is rare.
Very unusual style of sherry. And we did pause when we were, you know, deciding which one to use, because it does have a lighter style and a lighter colour. But we loved what the Palo Catardo brings to the Royal Bracla 18-year-old. It brings citrus notes, it brings honey notes, and it just gives this lovely brightness. And then our 21-year-old is a trio of sherry casks. So our Oloroso, Palo Catardo, and then as a decadent, luxurious cherry on top, we have Pedro Jimenez. And now we loved what the Pedro Jimenez did to the flavour of Royal Bracla.
Complex,
yes,
so good,
so good. Dark, it's luxurious, it's gloopy, goes brilliantly with vanilla ice cream.
Just like our poor tea.
Yes, although the PX is much, much sweeter.
Yes.
So we loved what the PX did to the 21-year-old.
Yes.
And so when we were thinking about the 25-year-old, it just seemed like the perfect combination.
I know this time you come to Taiwan for the Royal Bracla 25 years. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes. So the 25-year-old and the Pedro Jimenez was just a match made in heaven. Would you like to try some?
Yeah, of course.
What I love about this is that the PX casks have managed to retain the summer in the glass.
Summer in the glass,
So,
so
we've got
beautiful.
This abundance of fruity notes, so apples and pears and summer berries just seem to be flooding out of the glass.
I almost have an image.
yes, it's just beautiful.
Yes.
And then we get these spicy notes that are coming from the PX casks, notes of chocolate coming through, and those cereal notes as well, and maybe a hint of almond, so sort of nutty notes coming through.
I can feel a little bit white white paper and tickle my nose.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Well, you know, this is 46% alcohol. There's no colour added, non-chill filtered. You can add a little bit of water to it. The tastings I've been doing in Taipei, I haven't seen many people adding water to it. When you want to explore a whiskey for the first time, I'd always say add a little bit of water to it. And if you like, you know, if you go to a bar and you want to explore a whiskey for the first time, even ask the bartender for 2 glasses and have 1 full, 1 empty. Split your dram between the 2 glasses and add water to 1 and keep the other one neat. And that's a really nice way to explore. Do you like it with water or do you not?
So you will recommend, if people want to understand whiskey more, adding water is a very important thing.
Yes, it just opens up the whiskey, revealing previously hidden flavour treasures. And so I think it's important, but some people say, no, this is how I like it, and that's that. But what we say at Dewar's is, it's your whiskey, enjoy it as you please. And if that means that you want it in a cocktail, you want a highball, that's fine too. We don't want anyone to be afraid of ordering whiskey. You know, it's very much a drink to be enjoyed, and you know, with friends, and you know, to relax with.
In Taiwan, we treat whiskey too serious.
Yes, with reverence and and
or not too serious. Too kind. I think relax is the best thing. We close the whiskey.
Yes, yes. So it's 46%.
So nice.
And what I love about this is that on the nose, we get this abundance of fruit. But then on the palate, we get this weight.
Yes.
The weight of the 25 years of maturation, and then combined with the weight and the decadence of the Pedro Jimenez casks. So we get a real impression of the fortified wine on the palate, in combination with the cereal notes and the fruity sweetness of Royal Brackla coming through.
Oh my God.
It's just incredible.
Yes, yes. So I think why you can always win the competition. When you describe this whiskey, I can feel in your mind very clearly the picture. And when you blend the whiskey, you can very easy to let this kind of what you think put into the whiskey.
Yes.
I can taste it.
Yes.
So wow, amazing.
Oh,
amazing.
Thank you. Cheers to that.
Cheers. This time you come to Taiwan, what kind of Taiwanese food you impress more?
Jellyfish, the crab with the rice.
Oh yes, yes. Crab really on the top, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's a very traditional Taiwanese food.
Yes, it was really lovely. And then we finished it off with an almond pudding.
Oh yes, that's a kind of very famous dessert.
Yes, and it was really, really delicious. We tried an Altmore highball at Backyard.
Yes.
We loved it.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen such a collection of whiskey, as such a diverse range of whiskey.
Thank you, that's my honor.
Yes, thank you.